The Valley Season 2 is upon us. Was there added pressure or anything going in, knowing how big of a hit Season 1 was?
It's nerve-wracking. It really is. Yeah.
So nerves are high as you wait for this to make it out into the world?
Nerves, anxiety, stress, disappointment, embarrassing. Those are some of the words, yeah.
Will you feel like a weight is lifted once the season has all aired and it's all out there?
Yes. What I really want people to know is to please watch the whole season before you judge. And keep in mind, this was not shot in real time. This was shot a year ago. So things are a lot different. Dynamics have changed, relationships have changed, I've changed. So what you're seeing is something, you are seeing me at my worst. I'm at the point where I'm so in love with the man I want to become that I'm just not satisfied with who I am anymore. It was a very bleak, dark time for me when we were filming. Hardest year of my life. Hardest year of my life by far in the 45 years I've been out here.
Is it a blessing or a curse that reality TV cameras were there to capture the worst year in your life?
I'm very blessed to be able to do what I do. I'm very, I have to look at the silver lining here.
You shared a big story just ahead of the show launching. I think a shocking but maybe not surprising confession.
Yeah.
Ownership of an addiction battle you've had for 20 plus years, cocaine specifically. Why was that something you kind of wanted to get ahead of and get out there before it played out on the show?
There's no right time to say this. If you watch the show over the years, you can clearly tell I was on something some of the times. I think it got worse when Brittany and I separated. I went down a really, really dark rabbit hole.
What did a day in your life look like down the rabbit hole?
God, I don't even like talking about it. I was drinking. I was, doing drugs. I was going out. I was by myself a lot. Oh, that's scary, very scary place to be when you're by yourself. Your thoughts get the best of you, especially when you're taking substance. It controls you, and it controlled me. And I use drugs and alcohol to cope with my problems because it just gives me a 2-hour block where I don't have to think about the pressures of being on television, the pressures of being a father, the pressures of saving my marriage. Like it was the pressures of going to rehab, the pressures of dealing with my OCD, my PTSD, my bipolar, like all these things, were on me and I couldn't deal with it. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to be here anymore. There was times where I just didn't want to be here anymore. I was like, I'm done. I'm throwing in the towel.
Like to a suicidal place? Like you don't want to be on this earth anymore?
I don't know if I don't know. I was just in a very, very dark place. And I was almost just like, I don't think anybody will care if I'm here anymore. And the only person that pulled me out of this was my son. It was just a really, really tough year, but I've worked really, really hard the past 132 days.
That's my the sobriety date.
Yeah,
so you last used 132 days.
Right,
ago.
Correct. I'm on the uphill. I don't want to say I'm great again, but I'm very up here to where I was like that. And I feel really good about myself.
The mantra in recovery of one day at a time.
It is a one day at a time thing. The therapy I go to AA. I have a great sponsor. I have a great life coach. My sponsor's amazing. He's an A-list celebrity, believe it or not. He's a pretty big celebrity. I'm not going to say who it is, but it's wonderful.
That would defeat the anonymous part of it.
What?
That would defeat the
yes,
anonymous.
It would, but he's a really nice guy, and he's been kind of by my side ever since, and I don't miss a day. It's been a process. I've never asked for help for 45 years of life. I don't like looking vulnerable. I don't like looking weak. I'm your typical guy, So for me to ask for help took so much.
But does it feel good now, having asked?
When I went to rehab the first time, I felt so vulnerable. I think I cried for the first 3 days, and I was just so defeated. Like, what is wrong with me? What is wrong with me? Please tell me. And finding out that I am bipolar too, and I have PTSD, and I have OCD and ADHD. I have it all. Like I just have a cocktail of issues, and I broke down and I started crying because I finally knew what was wrong with me, and they could finally put me on medication that makes me feel good. Like I haven't felt this good forever. I should have taken this medication years ago. I should have figured this out years ago. I probably would have saved my marriage.
You finally have the answers to the questions you were too scared to ask for a long time.
Yes, there's a chemical imbalance in my brain that I can't fix on my own.
Yeah.
And
it's nothing to be ashamed of.
No, it's not. It's a very emotional thing to go through.
The reaction to you revealing all this has been mixed. You have your supporters, but it seems that some of the people who may know you best doubt your commitment to this new lifestyle. Your estranged wife even released a statement that said in part, "His behaviors are alarming and his treatment plan seems to be the bare minimum. Jax has caused enormous damage and I have very little trust in him at this point."
Yeah.
What's your response to the people who doubt you?
It's fine. It's expected. I did a lot of damage to Brittany, and I am very aware of how I handled things.
He flipped the coffee table and it like hit my knee. It turned black immediately. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. I'm like screaming, crying.
No.
It was terrifying. You're cheating on me.
Yeah, I went full unhinged, raged, and bad. It was bad. In the 14 years I've been on television, there's been a lot of things that I've done, but not one person has ever done anything wrong to me. I've done everything to myself.
That's big to take ownership.
I take full accountability of all my actions. And, you know, I watched the first episode yesterday and I wasn't going to watch it. I watched it and I cried and I cried. And I was like, this is day one. And I'm like, I got how many more episodes I got? And I'm like, I don't recognize that person. I was frail. I was little. I looked sick. You can tell I was drinking. You can tell I was on something. My anger was out of control. I was just acting out. Like it was just it was a shell of a human being. And I'm just disgusted with myself, to be honest.
He has people watching me. I'm going through so much. My husband's in rehab.
You have to attack me because you're going through something.
We are going to watch you go to rehab for the first of the 2 times you've
Right.
gone on this season. How much are we going to see? Did cameras follow you into treatment? Were you doing...
You will see some of it. You know, my job was on the line. My son was on the line. My health was on the line. Everything was on the line.
Was there a conversation of you not being a part of the Valley season 2 if you couldn't get your act together?
Kind of, but not really. Ish. Yes. No. Maybe. I don't. I just knew everything was on the line. You can't. The best way. I was a liability. I was a liability to myself. I was a liability to people. I was a liability to everybody. So, you know, going to rehab the first time was essential. The problem I had with rehab, though, the first time was I knew they were filming. And I would get on my phone and I would do some rage texting because they were filming and I couldn't control the narrative. I couldn't control what they were saying about me. And I knew they were talking about me. And I knew things were going on and it was driving me crazy. So I couldn't really focus on while I was there 100%. I gave it a full 80%, you know, and I just couldn't get fully there because I knew things were going on the outside. And if you know me, like, it's like I'm stuck in jail while everybody's just having a good time. It's hard.
And you're probably spiraling thinking, well, what if they're saying this or doing that?
Exactly.
Or they're having this conversation and I'm not there to defend myself.
Exactly. And it was really tough for me. So, you know, the second time around was a little bit easier. When
you did re-enter the group after rehab, were your fears washed aside or did you walk back into a conversation about yourself?
It was like I was a stranger walking into a group for the first time. I didn't know how people were going to accept me or react.
So who is your support system right now?
You know, all my guys. You know, all the guys. And unfortunately, obviously, the girls are with Team Brittany. But you know what? Tom Schwartz has been there. Jason's been there. Jesse's been there. Tom Sandoval is there. He texts me every single day. I know everybody has their feelings about Tom Sandoval, but the guy does have a heart. And he's been checking on me ever since I got out of rehab.
I know your late dad has been kind of a North Star in these last few years for you. You think about what he would want for you. What do you think he would make of all of the changes you've made in your life?
I think I need him. I could use him. Sorry.
No, feel the feeling.
Yeah, I wish he was here. You know, when my dad first died, it was very numb to me. My dad was my best friend. But now that I'm going through this, now that I have a son that he hasn't met his grandchild, it's tough. It's really, really tough. It's tough. It's hard. It's hard. I really could use my dad. I really could.
Well, you know he's with you.
Yeah, I know. It's just, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's
you just
not
want to
easy.
be able to call him up.
I don't have many people. I don't have a mom. I don't have a dad that I can talk to. My sister lives in Michigan. You know, I lost a lot of friends to this addiction. But it's just tough. It's tough. I have my friends in rehab and therapy, and I have my buddies that stuck by my side, but, you know, I'm rebuilding myself.
Yeah. And you're meeting a new you too, so
Yeah.
you got to figure out who that person is and where they fit into life.
I'm not gonna lie, I like this person that I am.
Good.
I enjoy this person. I was very scared of who I was gonna become. I thought I was gonna be just utterly boring and
Did you
unsocial.
ever have that feeling before you got sober? Did you like yourself?
I didn't like myself, but I liked that people liked me. Does that make any sense?
That you were getting outside validation instead of internal validation.
Yeah, and of course people say Jax is crazy, whatever, but I was getting validated as great TV. Now it's not funny anymore. You know, you have a child. You have a marriage that you destroyed. You have friends that don't trust you anymore. Like, it's not funny anymore. You know, and it took a little bit longer for me to realize that.
You also recently shared that kind of a goal in the near future, hopefully for you, is to introduce Cruz to your mom, who you've been estranged with.
I just texted her before we got here.
Okay, so has there been positive movement there?
It's like I'm dealing with so much right now. Bringing my mom into the equation, it's either gonna, I don't know. Like, I want her to meet her grandchild. I send her pictures and stuff like that because I think just right now, I need some family.
Yeah.
Man, I need to reach out. And I love to give my mom a hug. I haven't seen her in 7 years. So.
Have you thought about how you will one day talk about all of this to Cruz?
No. I don't know. I just hope that he sees this, that I've worked on myself, that I've tried, that I didn't cop out, that he sees that, you know what, my dad was in a bad place. He was in a real bad place, but he was strong enough to beat it. He beat this disease. My goal is to make sure that I break the cycle that men can't talk about mental health because it was never allowed to be talked about in my family. My goal is to break that cycle and talk to my son and be like, talk to me about whatever you want. I don't care what you do in life. I will be there to support it.
Brittany shared this week that Cruz has been diagnosed with autism. And does it feel good to have an answer finally and a path forward for him?
We're learning, you know, but our son is the most lovable, cute, cozy little kid ever. He's absolutely delicious kid. And I'm so proud of him. He is so smart. He is so intelligent. Yeah, he's lacking in verbal. He says little things here and there, but he's just a great kid. And yes, Brittany and I are going through a really, really hard time. But you know, I think we're strong enough to set this aside and let's focus on our son and making sure that he is loved by both parents, regardless if we're together or not. He needs to understand that his mom and dad love him more than anything. And that's, again, why I'm still here. And I'm not gonna say it's great and everything's fixed. It's not. I think Brittany holds on to a lot of resentment for me because of how I acted over the years, and she's kind of, I don't know if he's gonna change, but I have changed, and I think she's still holding on to the person that I used to be, and it's really hard to prove to her. It's gonna take time. She only sees me when I pick up Cruz, or if we have maybe a function where we cross paths. I've hurt her. I hurt her a lot. You know, I've done a lot of damage.
And you've said all this to her at this point now. You own to her face, I hurt you, and yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to talk sometimes about these kind of things.
Yeah.
It's still like, it's an open wound, and we're trying to heal, and it's gonna take time, but it's hard.
Do you see a world that in any way, shape, or form where reconciliation happens for you and Brittany? Can you be a couple again?
As far as couple, I don't think that's gonna happen. But I would love, I don't wanna say never, but as of right now, no. My main goal is just to be a good co-parent with Brittany and to get along. But as far as being together again, I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm not in a place to be a husband right now. I'm an amazing father. Husband, not so much.
Focus on one thing at a time.
I need to focus on one thing. And I just don't think I can give Brittany the love that she deserves. You know, I love her as a person. I think she's a great mother. But I think down the line, we just kind of lost the in love and the romance. I think so much has happened, so much toxicity that you just can't come back from.
So many little cracks just finally.
There is a lot. There is a lot.
You got heat season 1 for picking on her about her drinking and being really on her about that.
How much was she drinking on the boat?
0. Jax, I can hear you. Everybody here has my back, and you're my husband, and you're trying to make me look like I'm a bad person.
Yeah.
Looking back, was that projection?
No. I you know what? That's her story to tell, and I want her to be able to tell it. You know, she's got her issues too. I know mine are highlighted right now. And when she's ready to talk about her stuff, she will. But it's not my place to talk about her.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, believe me.
You said you're not ready to be a husband, so I think that means maybe you're not ready to also date. But do you want to find love again? Would you want to get married again in the future?
I can tell you by looking at your face, I will never, ever, ever get married again.
Wow.
Never. No, never again. I am not dating. That's the last thing on my mind right now, and I'm worried about. I'm focusing on my son and my mental health and therapy, and just, you know, loving myself again. That's all I care about right now. Maybe I'm not going to say I'm never going to date, but that's the last thing on my mind right now.
You've been doing this, living out your life on TV 14 years now.
Yeah.
I think you turned 46 this summer.
Oh, don't remind me.
Reality TV can be a forever job, but it's maybe not a forever job for everybody. Do you want to do this and document your growth for as long as possible?
Absolutely. I'm so blessed to be able to do what I do. I love it. I love being on reality TV. I love this life. I love sharing my stories. I love filming. I love being authentic. I love giving you everything that I have. I just love it all. It's me. This is it. I love it. I've grown up in this life, I feel like. I love it.